After two big results against World Cup competition in the June friendlies, the anticipation and excitement for the U.S. men's national team's World Cup hopes are increasing by the minute. However, there are still many U.S. men's national team fans who are not so optimistic, and they are more than happy to let me know about it in the comments section. So for their sake, I felt like now might be a good time to share a realistic look at the U.S.'s chances in Qatar. This is a U.S. men's national team reality check on this episode of The Yank Report. What's up? My name is Sam. This is The Yank Report. It's a show about the U.S. men's national team. If you're into that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, say nice things in the comments section, and be nice to each other. Let's jump in. Listen, guys, I hate to be the one to have to tell you this, but the U.S. is not going to win the 2022 World Cup. In fact, the U.S. is not going to play in the 2022 World Cup final. The U.S. is not going to play in the World Cup semifinal. And if by some miracle the U.S. ends up in the quarterfinals, it'll be an enormous achievement. Teams that win World Cups are a lot better than us. Their rosters are filled with some of the best players in the world at every position. We do not have that. Their substitutes are better than our best players. In fact, our best players would be lucky to make the roster of World Cup caliber winning teams. We have some good players on top teams. They have the best players on the best teams. And it's not a secret. The odds makers put the U.S. as the 15th most likely team to win the tournament. That puts us about square in the middle of the pack. Not great. They cite our center backs and strikers as the team's biggest weaknesses, and we are well aware of that. Our top center back is an MLS veteran that has never played in Europe. And best case scenario for our second center back is a 22-year-old with 8 international caps and an injury. That center back will likely be playing for a new team next season, so his form and playing time at the moment are big question marks. Speaking of question marks, the U.S. has had a question mark at the striker position for the entire cycle. After throwing the kitchen sink at the striker position, nothing is stuck. At this moment, our best case scenario is that a 19-year-old bottom of the Bundesliga table striker is able to break out of his slump and regain some form at the beginning of next season. That, or a 21-year-old MLS converted 10 starts consistently finishing chances at the international level, something he's yet to do. Either way, things are not looking great. What about the intangibles? Leadership, experience. The US are fresh out of those. Our squad will likely be the youngest in the tournament, and the one player in the squad with World Cup experience is not likely to see much playing time. The learning curve will be steep. And what about the coach? Though our coach has played in a World Cup, he has never coached in one. In fact, the U.S. men's national team is the first international team he's ever coached. Prior to that, he coached in Sweden for a few seasons before moving to MLS. He was never able to win a championship with either team. So if you're looking for reasons to be pessimistic about this team, it's not hard to find them. They are very young, they have no experience, they've struggled with injuries so much that we've still never seen all the top players healthy and in camp at the same time. They've struggled against inferior opponents, they've struggled against physical opponents, they have lacked creativity and cohesion, they have been disorganized in defense and have missed crucial opportunities in the attack. So with all that being said, why in the world would anyone be optimistic about this squad? Let's talk about that after a word from today's sponsor. Our partners at BetOnline continue to be your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including the latest odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join or use our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. It's well established that the U.S. have some issues heading into the World Cup. I can tell you right now that the back line will be disorganized and will make some mistakes. I know this because every single back line in every single game gets disorganized at some point and makes mistakes, especially as the quality of competition increases. The opposition will have chances against us. Our strikers will miss chances. I can tell you this right now. I know this because even the best strikers in the world miss chances every single game. It's inevitable. The U.S. will face 3 quality opponents in our group. England is the clear favorite to win the group with one of the strongest teams in the tournament. The U.S. is favored to finish second, but Wales is not far behind. and Iran, the team odds makers deem as the least likely to win the group, have a disciplined and veteran side with quality throughout the lineup. There will be no easy games. The US can lose to any one of these teams. However, the US can also beat any one of these teams. And that's the thing. That's what makes the World Cup so special. The best teams do not win every game. The teams with the best players can lose. The teams with the best tactics can lose. The teams with the best coach can lose. World-class players make huge mistakes, and ordinary players can have magical moments. And ultimately, that's what the World Cup is all about. Moments. The moments that transcend results and turn a generation of kids into diehard fans.
There are things on here for the USA. Can they do it here? Crossed, and Dempsey is denied again, and Donovan has scored! Oh, can you believe this? Go, go, USA! Certainly through! Oh, it's incredible! You could not write a script like this!
This US team has plenty of issues, but they have shown time and time again that when the chips are on the table, they're capable of rising up and being greater than the sum of their parts. This team of inexperienced young players has risen from the ashes of our nation's greatest soccer embarrassment and have reinvigorated our fan base with an optimism and hope that this group can achieve things that no US men's national team has ever achieved before. We have players playing at some of the best clubs in the world against some of the best players in the world week after week. They play with flair, they play with passion, and they play with that uniquely American resilience that is both indescribable and instantly recognizable. In a sport where teammates are often seen as your greatest competition, these guys have formed a brotherhood through shared ambition and shared adversity. From the post-COVID friendlies till now, this team has seen dozens of players come in and out of the squad. It has seen many different formations and many different tactical changes. It has suffered from injuries and setbacks. It has had some great victories and some great defeats. Through it all, they formed an identity and a core. They've identified a playing style that suits them and have tested it against quality competition with good results. I think they're ready. So let's address the elephant in the room. There's a lot of pain in this fan base. Missing out on the 2018 World Cup hurt. It cost the Federation millions of dollars that could have gone to youth development and destroyed generations worth of goodwill that former US men's national team players had built up. Worst of all, missing the 2018 World Cup meant that there would be no special moments, no imaginations captured from on-field events, and no generation of kids inspired to follow in their footsteps. That pain and resentment from missing the World Cup still lingers in a fan base that desperately does not want to suffer that hurt again. I know this because I lived this. And that's part of the reason why I'm so excited for this World Cup. I'm very excited to see how these players will perform in Qatar, but I'm also very excited for the rest of our country to meet these players. When America turns its attention to the World Cup, I think they're going to like what they see. I think these kids will capture the nation's attention, and I think they'll inspire, hopefully converting some new soccer fans along the way. There are a lot of reasons to doubt this team. I understand that. There are a lot of reasons to question how they will play in the tournament, but there are also a hell of a lot of reasons to support them. So what are your reasons for supporting this team or doubting this team? How are you feeling going into Qatar? How has this World Cup cycle and these friendlies and all this kind of changed how you felt along the way? Let me know in the comment section. Guys, you only have a few days left to get the Kings of CONCACAF shirt in the Cent 76 store. After a few days, it will close and then we will be releasing another design. So depending on when you see this video, you might not have much time left. So go check out the website, sign up for the mailing list. You'll be informed when new designs come through and all the latest news. As always, si puede hablar español, dígame un comentario en español. If you want the Yank Report in podcast form, you can download the Yank Report podcast. Make sure you are rating and reviewing the podcast. Make sure you're subscribing and liking the video. If you like the content, click subscribe. If you really want to support the channel, you can become a member. Members get access to a few different things. You get badges. You can see the members section content. I just added a video to the member section the other day. It's an interview with the official US soccer, the US men's national team, DJ Flipside. So if you want to check that out, it's in the member section. Shout out to the tier 2 members: Manuel Adivenes, Mike Irish, Chris Matassa, Matthew Hanna, and Matt Doyle. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Sam, and this is the Yank Report brought to you by Bet Online.